Welcome, everybody. This is my name is Talal from Mentor Agile, and we have our special guest, one of our prime students, Umair Hussain. Actually, introduce yourself, Umair. Who are you?
My name is Umair Hussain. I am a BA. I don't know what else to say.
No, it's okay. You're Umair Hussain. You're a BA.
Um, yeah,
You're
and
working towards being a product owner
I'm
soon.
working toward becoming a PO. Taking my classes at Mentor Agile.
Yeah.
So definitely, like I said earlier, was like very helpful. So
Yeah. No, we'll definitely get into all that. So you've been a student with us with our second cohort. And what is it? It's like middle of March, third week into March. So like what, 6, 7 weeks since you've been working with us,
yeah,
right? How's that been going for you?
it's been honestly like a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Just getting the hang of things and having the ability to like communicate with like Akbar, you, and just having that ability to reach out to you guys via text
Hmm.
and honestly getting a response pretty fast. That I feel like is a very like big thing for me, just because communication for me is like key.
Right.
So that is one of like the very pros of that.
Yeah. Well, no, grateful that and happy to hear that you feel that way. Now, I think the whole idea about the office hours, right? That's what it
Yeah,
is because you in this case right now you are working your job,
yeah,
and it's not just any other job too. It's a senior level position,
yes, alhamdulillah.
right?
Yeah,
And like all thanks to the Lord for that, the blessings that come with that. Um, and given the fact that in this current job market, employers are expecting a lot
yeah,
from their employees.
definitely.
Like I'm sure you've seen from your previous work too, right?
Hmm.
Um, do you feel, and again, I'm only asking this clearly, right? So that way the
Yeah,
people watching can get a better understanding.
for sure.
Do you feel like we have been able to give you that support that's giving you that positive impression with your employer?
I mean, definitely, that is a strong factor. Having the office hours with Akbar was very helpful.
Hmm.
Um, he before I even started. I mean, it's alhamdulillah. It's only been a month since I've been working there,
Hmm.
and I was very nervous in the beginning about how I'm gonna, work, how I'm gonna like what I'm gonna be doing, and I was just nervous. Like
Hmm.
honestly, I'm a very nervous person. Like especially when it comes to like doing interviews or whatever it is. Like I get nervous really fast, and before I even started, I had like my office hours with Akbar for 2 3 weeks before,
Hmm.
and honestly, like it was every day for an hour.
Hmm.
He definitely took his time. Like we both like he took his time and he asked me like what programs I'm gonna be working on, and he basically went over them with me. Like ADO, I never used ADO in my life. Azure DevOps, I've never used in my life. Um, Teams, I know that's like a very like common thing, but I've used WebEx before, and that was like what I've primarily used. Teams I've never used either, and I remember on my first day of work, on Teams, my manager was like, "Oh, hey, can you schedule a meeting with this person to go over this?" And honestly, like, thank Akbar, I was able to do it because I was like, I knew how to do it. And with ADO as well, we played around with ADO. I created stories on there. I created epics on there. I learned how to link them, everything. And then he also sent me like YouTube videos for like my time off and what I could do to improve on the days I wasn't seeing him.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the whole idea, right? Is I think when you and I first started talking about giving you the support that you need,
yeah,
I think at first it may not have registered to you how Mentor Agile can help you, right?
yeah,
Because I think a lot of people, including yourself, could think it's just a boot camp, it's just a course,
yeah,
right? But we are trying to focus on a community, and part of that community is providing long-term support to anyone that's a part of it,
yeah.
right? I think in your case, you're starting to get a taste of that right away,
Hmm.
whereas majority of our students, they are not in the workforce right now, right? So they're going through that 12 weeks, then they're applying the market. So by the time they need that office hour support, it's going to be a few months from now. So that's why anyone that's like watching this video that wants to work with us, like we're trying to show them what they'll get eventually once they're working. But we're also trying to showcase with you being a living testimonial
Yeah.
that you could be working a job right now.
Mm-hmm.
And with the layoffs that are happening, with the
Yeah.
way that, the job market is operating, it's worth investing in yourself
Oh
and
yeah.
getting support, right?
Definitely. As far as like the support goes, like I said, even at work sometimes I get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Even right now, I have my laptop with me. We're gonna be going over a few things like I want feedback on. You guys are experienced. Alhamdulillah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
blessed to have you guys around, and I've taken a lot of boot camps in the past too. And honestly, a lot of the boot camps, it's hard to stay in contact with who is your teacher. It'll be like, oh, this person is teaching you the book skills, and then this person is teaching you the interview questions, or this person is teaching you this. So it's like anytime you have questions, you message one of them, and he'll be like, oh no, go to this guy, and then that guy will be like, oh, go to this guy, and from that is what like I've from the other boot camps I didn't like that,
Yeah.
and from this like anytime I have a question, anytime I have, even if I was nervous, I've texted you guys plenty of
Mhm.
times, and I've gotten like good feedback. I've gotten like, you know, I've gotten my nerves calm, and honestly, like from what I can tell is like this. You also get your certificate
Mhm.
with this, right? And
Yeah.
with that, like you make yourself a very positive asset or a strong asset to for the future.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the whole idea. I think that, yeah, you hit it right on the head, bro. You really did. And I know, well, forget about what I have to say, right? Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you were sharing with us earlier, like your feedback that you got with your manager earlier.
Oh, I had my one-on-one with my manager.
How many have you had with him so far?
Um, it's only been a month, alhamdulillah,
Right.
and in that month I've had 3.
Okay, so almost once a week you're having a
Yeah.
one-on-one.
Once a week I'm having my one-on-ones with him.
Okay.
And realistically, honestly, I was so nervous in the beginning, but what he said in that one-on-one was, "You're doing good. You
Mhm.
have." He's like you just started. You ran with all the projects I've given you,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason I feel like I was able to run is like, number one, I have the confidence level due to you guys being behind me. And
Mhm.
honestly, I'm not just saying it just to say it, but like realistically, if I have any questions or any concerns, again, like I just said, I have my laptop with me. I'm going to be going over a few things with him. Like, I feel like I have that support, so I have that confidence to like run with things. And within my like first week, I have, alhamdulillah, I'm part of 5 projects. So like I'm supporting 5 projects. And I remember during one of the meetings, on Teams, like you know how you can share like your previous chat.
Mm-hmm.
I had he's like, oh, like talk to this guy, get the feedback from him, and prepare for this meeting. And I basically took some notes before the meeting, and I joined the meeting. Then the PO joined, and then the PO was a stakeholder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was already nervous because that's a PO. Like I'm nervous, and when my manager kind of like took a little longer, so I started. I was like, okay, like we're all just sitting here really awkwardly. So I just started saying like, hey, what's up? Like, how are you today? And blah blah blah. And then from there, I was like, okay, let's just get started. I was like, oh, we're gonna be working on this. This is what I have. We have to talk to this guy to get feedback from him. The guy's like, oh yeah, I'll message him. The PO's like, I'll message him. We'll get the requirements. We'll get everything going. And when my manager joined, I was like, oh hey, like Paul is here. He can take over now. And my manager looked at me. He's like, he didn't look at me, but he like said, he's like, oh, he's like, you know more than I do. You're doing amazing. Just keep doing what you're doing. And honestly, like I said, that confidence level that I got is due to the fact that I know for a fact if I need something, I always have you guys behind me. So,
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And to put into perspective here, you're doing 5 projects within your first month,
yeah,
right? That's just to show even more how demanding employers are now of their employees,
yeah,
Whereas if you were to look at it simply a few years ago, if you were operating as a BA, maybe you would be part of 1, 2 projects, max 3,
Mm.
and that would be considered quote unquote a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Right off the bat, within your first 30 days, you've been ramped up to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Which you already are nervous going into it. And now
Yeah.
you have,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah.
But no, alhamdulillah, you know,
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, man.
it's a big blessing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's a very big blessing that you feel a sense of support. At the end of the day, nobody got anywhere by themselves.
Definitely.
Okay. And sure, you can try to be independent. Like, there's always this argument. I can go on YouTube. I can find this stuff on my own. I can do my own research. Go for it. Okay. But why wouldn't you want to take our learning curve as your experience curve? And if you really look at how much we're asking from our students, it's not even, it's very fair compared to typically how you've, like, why don't you tell me typically how you've seen boot camps run in terms of pricing and how they go about their deals?
I mean, as far as like the pricing goes, like obviously they're cheap. It's not like they're like a lot cheaper, but
Mhm.
it's like, you know, significantly cheaper. But it's like with that, you don't get that support.
Mhm.
And honestly, with that, I felt like that support was the biggest thing for me specifically, just because of the fact that it, number one, again, it gave me that confidence to be able to like walk
Mhm.
and just like, you know, rather than just being quiet, I was able to like lead. I was
Mhm.
able to speak up. I honestly, like I said, usually when I'm nervous, so it's like I don't talk as much, but I have that ability to run, and going over things like having our real life experiences, having our role plays, and having real life experiences. Again, that support, number one, that's the biggest thing that was for me, and having
Mhm.
that communication where if I have a question, and I remember I texted Akbar 5 minutes before I was about to go in a meeting with a whole bunch of like information, and he's just like, he gave me like exactly what he told me what to do, how to do it, within less than 5 minutes.
Mhm.
So when I got into that meeting, I knew what I was doing, and I was like, you know,
And
I
you
was
saw
like,
right
yeah,
then and there. You saw right then and there that the support that was being provided to you, it really helped you right then and there, right?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That support was, like I said, the number key thing
Yeah.
for me. And
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, yeah.
I was just gonna say, when it comes to a pricing standpoint,
Mm,
like typically other boot camps, you're right, they won't charge upfront the amount that we do, but typically they also have, once they get you a job.
yeah.
What have you seen that? Yeah, sure, they may not charge you right up front, but what do you see once you do get a job?
Once you get a job, they leave you hanging. Honestly, I've had that. Where they leave you hanging, as well as
But what do they expect from you
oh,
from
they expect like
financial?
a cut from
How
their
much do
paycheck.
how much
Usually, it's like about 30-40%.
and for how long?
For at least a year, and usually
least.
a year is like the length of a normal contract. So every paycheck they would expect like a 30-40% cut.
So easy numbers, let's just say you were making, just for the sake of easy numbers, 100K.
Mm.
You're saying that in a year they would expect you to pay them anywhere from 30K, sometimes even 40K.
Well, and then on top of that, you have taxes. So
Yeah.
realistically, how much is a person gonna make?
So
And that
Yeah.
was I mean, again, that with you guys it's a flat fee, and honestly, not even that, you have different forms of methods.
mhm,
So if you can't afford it, there's like the other ways. You guys have afterpay.
mhm.
And on top of that, alhamdulillah, it's like 0% interest for however many months, because of the fact that, you know, us as Muslims, we try to, like, you got to try to stay away from the interest, and you have
Yeah.
other accommodations. So that was also another big thing.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, even when it comes to our name, it's Mentor Agile, right? And I think part of mentorship is it's not just about giving someone knowledge. It's about supporting them in their journey as they're growing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to foster here is we're trying to help people where they're at currently, which most people is they're either transitioning into a new career or they're starting from zero.
Yeah.
And we're trying to we empathize that there's growing pains. You're gonna feel nervous. Like in this conversation alone, I think you mentioned how nervous
like,
you've been,
I'm
right?
still nervous sitting here right now.
Yeah, and that's natural, right?
Yeah.
Because, dude, like when you're put on the spot and someone's expecting something from you, and especially in the case of a job, you're working for a paycheck, you're gonna feel nervous, especially when you find out, hey, like my friend's wife just got let go.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, so many people I know have been laid off. And even previously, a year ago, I got laid off myself. And honestly, it was very heartful, like it hurt. Because of the fact that it's like, number one, like you sit there, you apply all day, right?
Mhm.
You apply, you try to make yourself better. Then on top of that, you do, I don't even remember how many interviews I did, to be honest. It was definitely over 50. That's including like the recruiters. And I
Mhm.
hated the recruiters, but like that's part of the gig.
Yeah,
Then on top of that, you get your interviews. You do
Mhm.
those interviews. You're already nervous again, and then you pray. That's the number one thing. Like praying that's what's gonna get you. Like, Allah, whatever you're gonna get is from Allah, right? So it's like you pray that you get that job. Then once you get that job, now you have the stress of trying to keep that job.
Mhm.
But I feel like again, the number one thing I said the whole time right now is that support, and that support gave again, like I said, gave me the confidence
Mhm.
to be able to like run with it.
The reason why I'm smiling is because I think I think a lot of the times you've heard, oh, we're gonna give you on-job support.
Yeah.
You've been let down,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
I think this is the first time.
Yeah.
I remember when I first told you we're gonna give you on-job support. You did. I don't think you believed me.
Honestly, no,
You did it, right?
I didn't. Because like I said, like I've taken boot camps before,
Right.
right? And it's they're like, oh, I'll give you this, or I'll give you that, and it's false promises.
Right.
It's literally false promises, and it's like, number one, money. Everyone who works hard for their money, right? So it's like you paid for that boot camp, and then on top of it, oh, we'll do this for you, we'll do that for you. You go into it expecting like, oh, I'm gonna get this, or I'm gonna get that, right? You like, I'm gonna give you this support, I'm gonna give you the help, I'm gonna give you the knowledge to be successful. So, just all of that overall, but alhamdulillah, like that's why I keep mentioning that I have that support, because I'm like still in shock that I have that help.
Yeah, and you're gonna keep getting it,
Yeah, inshallah, man.
inshallah. And that's the
Inshallah.
whole point. Like, we want to build this community, and sure, we're small now, we're growing, and we're very grateful for that. But we're not going to be able to grow unless we're doing it with quality,
Yeah.
right? Because here's the thing: like, sure, we're having this conversation now,
Mhm.
and we're really happy that you're able to do this with us. But in your own life, would you say if somebody were to be in a similar position as you, would you want to recommend us to them?
I've already told a few of my friends.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I've brought it up. I've brought it up to them. Anytime we've had that conversation, and again that they've taken boot camps themselves,
Right.
and a lot of people I know or have heard or whatever, especially like in our community, there's boot camps left and right.
Right.
You walk out of Dar es Salaam, you walk out of IFS, hey, here's an IT paper, call this number, get an IT job.
Yeah.
You get this, you get that. Like they give you so many of them.
Yeah.
And like as a person that I said, like it's having that communication, having that ability to be able to talk to the ones that know of things and that community aspect. Like I'm cohort 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to people from cohort 1
Oh yeah.
because we have that ability of like, on the dashboard, you're able
Right.
to see who's on there, and someone from like our Sunday school that I haven't talked to in I don't even know how long was on there.
Mr.
I saw-
Rator.
Yeah, Mr. Ator.
Yeah.
I saw him at Dar es Salaam, and he told me about the boot camp. We started talking about the boot camp, and it's just how, like, you have that feeling of like, I've known him since like what, 5th grade of Sunday school.
Kids basically. Yeah.
And I stopped talking to him in the middle, but just seeing him gave me like that, I guess like the common ground to talk to him again,
Yeah.
and just seeing like wherever it goes. I see him at like, I saw him the other day at like Babasaj. I saw him like at the most randomest places again.
And you're
The
saying what's
number
up to
one
him.
thing we always talked about was like, hey, like how's your classes going? How's your boot camp going and stuff like that.
No, that makes me really happy, Umair. And Umair, you know this too. Like we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think we also had our natural disconnect in life.
Oh yeah. I mean
Right.
that happens with everyone as you get older.
Yeah.
We went to middle school together. We went to high school together. After high school, usually is like when that disconnect happens.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think being in this effort, I've seen like because we're starting, I'm meeting again, reconnecting with so many people, and it's in a quality manner.
Yeah.
Right? I think if we had that typical boot camp approach that you've been used to, that probably would have ruined our relationship more. You know what I mean? Or as in whatever we had.
I mean, again, like it. You know how stubborn I was.
Yeah.
Like you already knew. And us just me and you like. I think how many times did we meet? Twice, 3 times, and
Yeah.
I had questions on questions on questions.
Yeah.
And that's because of the fact that, like I said, I've been hurt in the past by different boot camps.
We're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I don't want to be hurt again,
Don't
bro.
worry, man. I ain't gonna hurt you.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
But,
Oh, but like, yeah, like the other boot camps, they
yeah.
hurt you. I'm crying over here, bro. They hurt me that much.
I mean, it's not even just about the money, right? It's about like your self-respect. I think that's what, when it comes to your career is typically one of the factors that shows like what your self-respect is at as a
Definitely.
society, right? Like you have an honest career, you're doing well in that career. It shows like you're a quality individual. And I think when you go to a boot camp and they tell you that, hey, we're going to help you accomplish it, and they just leave you hanging, and even if they get you a job, they wring you dry.
They shatter your dreams, bro. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this for you. You're gonna have a job. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that, and then they just leave you. They
Yeah.
shatter your dreams. That's what I'm saying. I'm hurt, bro. I'm literally hurt.
Wow, this is like, I didn't expect to get like into this level of it, man. But
Oh,
you're right.
I'm not crying by the way.
No, you're right.
My
You're
eyes
right.
just really itchy.
No, I got you. But I'm just saying, like, you're right though.
No.
You're right,
Mm.
and it sucks. And I know that's one of our challenges is helping people break through that condition of thinking of us as like
Other
everyone
boot
else.
camps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, like when I reached out to you, right? I saw your videos on Instagram. I reached out to you because yeah, we drifted apart, but at the same time, I felt like I could still reach out to you,
Yeah.
right? And I reached out to you. Like I said, I'm stubborn. We met up 3-4 times. I had so many questions for you, and the reason was those different boot camps. And again, I keep going back to this support is because I'm still shook that I have it because I never. They told me they were gonna give it to me, but they never did.
You're used to toxic, bro.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
and it's like they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, we'll give you that support. I never had it,
Yeah.
and now that I have it, I feel like I have the confidence level to
Nice, man.
exceed.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do. And I guess, we've been actually talking for a while, and I think almost half an hour we've been having this discussion.
Yeah,
How do you feel?
bro, time flew by.
Yeah, because you were doing good, bro. You're doing
honestly,
good.
like, I mean, the one thing I would tell everyone is like, it's that this boot camp, I feel like I've been saying it over and over again.
Support.
That support.
Support.
And it's like
Look into the camera. And I want you to I want you to look into the camera now at this point, and I just, in your own words, just tell you, how do you feel with us? And like, just say like what you would say, bro. Like, just say it.
what I would tell everyone is that like you have a family here, and realistically, I was nervous. I had moments where I was about to like, I was nervous. I was sweating, and I didn't know who I could reach out to. I literally texted Akbar Talal, and I honestly feel like I got a response very quickly, and that was like the number one thing that helped me.
And we don't shatter dreams, right?
I'm good now.
We build the dreams
I have
up.
some hope. Some
Oh,
hope.
man. Umair, brother, appreciate your time.
No problem, man. Thank you so much.
And you're definitely, this is going to help more people
Inshallah.
see that we're not just, you know what I'm saying?
Inshallah.
We're trying to add value into people's lives.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for, taking the time out to listen to this. We'll definitely be breaking this up into parts, but we'll be posting this full testimonial episode on our YouTube. And stay tuned.
Inshallah.